Welcome in to DC On Screen. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, the man who gets weirder every time I see him, Jason.
Yo.
Today we are talking about The Flash 217 Flashback.
Yay!
So, I'm going to start out right off the top with something that Scott sent us about this episode. Asinine plan, Harry is always right. Learn and accept that.
Yes. Yeah. I have,
Absolutely.
It's true. I'll give him this, though. That is an extremely well thought out, at least attempt. Like I'm not. You're watching him do it, going, "Yeah, there's no way that works." But at least you really thought of a lot of angles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, they're doomed, and I completely agree. When Harry says something, he is just invariably correct.
Except when he's,
Talking about how smart Jesse Quick is,
stealing your speed, or
right. When he's not lying, though.
Talking about how smart Jesse is. Yeah. I did like when he told Barry things will be different and only you will know what those differences are. Like,
right. Yeah. No, and it confused me about where they left it with this episode. They come back and Pied Piper's suddenly a friendly.
Uh-huh.
So how much of the rest of the show, like, I do, there's a little part of me for the rest of, like, until they wrap that up that's going to be watching going, so is that different now? Like, they're going to go meet somebody, they're going to go say hi to somebody, and I'm going to wonder, like, well, is that past all still there? What counts? I don't know what counts anymore.
Yeah, which I kind of love and kind of hate.
I have seen them take some shit for it, actually, on a couple of reviews where people said, like, no, I think they just ruined Flash, the time travel for me. It's not that deep, guys, but I still trust them. But, yeah, they left the door open here.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just not smart enough to understand, but is there an answer for how Eddie's sacrifice doesn't cause the entire timeline to respool, since Eobard never existed, but he did exist? I understand there's a time remnant. Okay, you explained that away, but now we're actually doing where people can go in the past and change things, and it actually counts now? Which would make sense with the rest of the show, because Eobard went back in the past in the first place and killed Barry's mother. Oh.
Apparently it has to be a significant enough thing to cement, as they call it. That's all I got, though.
And you're telling me that...
They gave themselves enough outs to play with that I don't think they're technically wrong yet, but,
You're telling me that, like, Eobard went back in time, changed the past by, like, 10 years or so, and killed Barry's mother, and a time wraith didn't come after his ass?
Well, they gave him this in this
he
episode.
said, if you know what you're doing.
Right. Like, Eobard sits there and even counsels it out. Like, no, I know what I'm doing. Somebody else is here. Like, they're that sure about if you know the rules and you know how to play, you can get around the time wraiths. Which, by the way, what are they like? Are these like black racers? It felt very black racery.
I think it's the show's version of the Black Racer without actually using the Black Racer. Because the Black Racer shows up when you're like, oh, Speedster's going to die. They don't cause the Speedster to die.
No. Yeah, they show up. They're the touch of death. The crooked finger with the scythe and everything. But this is kind of it's like a weird take on it that almost, it's got aspects of it. And I dug the Wraiths. I actually did. They're, first of all, creepy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked really good in this episode. They
did. They looked good. You know it didn't look good? The two berries up on that fire escape.
I agree. That got
CGI,
bad.
That got bad, and I was like, guys,
I think their faces were carved out of sandstone.
This is not. You guys are pushing too hard. Yeah, that money could have been saved, buddy. Saved for something.
It's nice to watch the flashes have, I guess, a flash off, but yeah, those faces needed touching.
I actually started wondering, like, if it was like a situation of like, oh no, we're getting close to the end of the season and we haven't used this amount of money. They won't give us, they'll only give us this amount of money if we don't use this much.
Right.
I didn't know, but I was just like, that could have been thrown someplace else. Please, no more of that. That was bad. Talk about taking me out, man. Taking me out of a show. God.
Yeah.
It's a show I normally love.
Well, no, and the CGI in particular we've praised it many a time. But hey,
maybe that's what it was. They had to throw so much at the Wraiths, at the speed Wraiths, that shot.
And the King Sharks and the
just looked bad. And whatever. I don't know. I think it's more of like they get a certain amount per season, but whatever. I don't know. I did kind of laugh because of spoilers. Batman vs Superman. When he goes back in time, he's like, "Oh, I'm too early."
Right.
I don't think it was intentional, but it was funny.
No, and I think this is something that we've seen a few times here. When Barry goes out on these little expeditions, he loses focus real quick.
He does.
That dude cannot stay on task. Like, somebody needs to actually give him like a henna tattoo of what he needs to get done while he's out there.
Mm-hmm. Scott tells us Barry is truly horrible at preserving the timeline, making no changes and playing it cool.
Right.
Yeah.
There are several times in this episode where you're watching him say something, go, Barry, shut your mouth. Don't tell them that.
He's just like, hey, I'm from the future. I mean, what's for lunch? Damn it, Barry.
He's just walking up to people he's known for years. Hi, I'm Barry Allen. Barry, I know that. I sent you for coffee. Did you not bring back coffee? Oh, that's okay. I'll go get coffee because I'm not from the future.
Yeah, this is it sort of reminds me of I used to have a running gag with some of my friends that I went to college with. We all sat down and watched all the original 3 Star Wars movies together, and I just suddenly noticed that like Chewbacca was really bad at surprise attacks because every time they were all about like being quiet about to surprise somebody, like he would just holler.
Right.
He would just and
then charge. Hey guys, we're over here.
Yeah. It's like, it just always made me I just always wanted to see, like, you know, Luke's surprise birthday party. You know? It's like, all right, he's in the driveway. He's, okay, well, he knows we're here now.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah. Scott says to us, Time Wraith, scary, aren't they? Not as scary as Kavanaugh when he plays Sinister. Absolutely.
Agreed.
Tom Cavanaugh's so good.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah. He is, he's done a lot for this show, man.
And there was a lot of, you know, for all the shit we gave Barry just a second ago, he did a really fantastic job of bluffing Thawne. And Scott.
Yeah. No, the hidden evidence trick, that's a good call.
Yeah. Now, Scott does tell us, he says, watch the clock, Barry, you knew Barry would wake up. I don't think he did. I think Barry underestimated himself there.
Yeah.
I think that was the point. They didn't, you know, actually say it, but I'm pretty sure he woke up before he was supposed to.
Yeah. And he said, like, I've got 6 hours, and I have no concept of how much time passed. I want to say he woke up after about 4, just because it makes sense in my head.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm rolling with.
I actually got the queebies, man, when Kavanaugh said, you ran all the way back here just to die. Like,
he's laughing at it, too.
Yeah.
Like, chuckling at the notion himself.
I actually wrote this before he actually takes Barry into the room. I actually just wrote down, Wells, shaking his head, MF knows. Underline knows. Like, I was, like, this show got me, like, I actually did get a little bit on the edge of my seat with that. I was just a little more invested than I normally am. I was just like,
with
oh,
that
man,
scene?
look at him. Yeah, well, like, just everything with Wells. Everything,
Wells in general. And by the way, he did a great job of going back to Wells. Because Harry's voice is a little different. He carries himself a little bit differently. He went back to Wells, I thought, really well.
I was worried about that, but he did it really well.
Yeah, seamless, really. Voice was on point. Hey,
I love Cisco. Your doppelganger. Not yet.
Right. Oh, my favorite was, what does he say? Like, I can't just magically sense where things are. No, the best thing he did this episode, torture via Rick Astley.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a slow clap.
That was fun.
Piper's just in there going, please, Cisco. Don't do this to me anymore. He's out here like almost dancing with his gloves. You just got to show me up.
Yeah. All right, dude. Tears with that Eddie scene, man.
You got him?
When Iris actually watches it, like, oh man, yeah.
Like when Barry pulls out his phone early on, I'm watching him going, oh fuck, Barry, good call, man. That is a really good touch, man. But yeah. It was nice to see Eddie again, wasn't it?
I didn't think so, and not until that scene.
I enjoyed it.
Then I was like, oh, Eddie.
More just that I never did mind the actor. It just kind of he hit the end of his story, and they did what they should have done with him. Like I thought his character was handled really well out of the first season. They did something really pointful. So I didn't necessarily want him back in the show, but this was a nice callback. Yeah. I enjoyed seeing him again.
Yeah, I didn't want him back.
Not for keeps, no. But for that video, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh wait, no, I do know the funniest thing in this episode. Past and Cisco had some many good things on that, like the whole thing about how he is trying to figure out who's who. Like, no, we watched Wrath of Khan like 5 times. Yeah, thought you'd enjoy that a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
I did.
And then he's even holding the symbol up while he's quoting the line while he's even saying it was wonderful. But past that, funniest thing in the episode still was is it Barry that's going like Barry and Wells back and forth. The future, yes. The future, yes. The future, yes. Oh, I adored that.
Yeah. Did you get the idea that they just actually did decide that they liked Pied Piper enough to make him a regular and wanted him to be a good guy?
I kind of...
Do you think that's what they're doing?
A little bit, maybe. But here's what I'm thinking, though. I got to qualify myself here. I really wanted them to do that, so I'm hoping they're kind of doing that. So I'm reading into it. I think it'll just be he's out there now, and he's a nice person they can call every now and then when something kind of sonically centric comes up. And they did. They said as much. And they clearly make him a good guy. They're like, are you going to be having dinner with somebody special? Very. My parents. Like, they make him a Boy Scout at the end of this episode, you know? Mm-hmm. And I was happy to see him. I liked Pied Piper in season 1 when I saw him. I thought he had a great episode. Yeah. He was one of the neat tweaks. I liked his history. His powers really neat to watch. Mm-hmm. So
I don't think that's the only change they're going to do.
I don't either, but that's kind of why I was a little shaky at the end of the app going, what all's different now?
Well, I'm excited to see that. So for me, like, even though I have some questions about the time travel method in the show, once again, the Flash writers have said, hey, check this out. What is it? It's more reasons to want to watch the show. Right.
And I swear the difference is a trust issue thing. Like, the Flash guys do this kind of crap, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's going to get weird. Let's see what you do with it. I go over to another show and I'm watching that going and going, that's weird. You've ruined it. I don't know. No, there's no way you can pull this off.
Yeah, and maybe they won't be able to on the Flash. I don't know, but I'm happy to watch them try.
I think they will. They've done good.
The key is, and I really thought about this a lot because Fringe did a similar Fringe did a similar thing.
We've already spoiled everyone on Fringe.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you if you haven't watched Fringe. That's just been over for like 3 years.
No, I do. I know what to tell you. Good for you. Don't do it. Just listen to our spoilers.
Don't do it. Season 4, they rewrote everything. So like Olivia and Peter wasn't together, and like they undid all of the trust built up between Walter and Peter over the 2 or 3 years that we had watched it. Mm-hmm. Like everything was rewritten. Mm-hmm. And I hated it, but it was like their way of doing a reboot so they could keep the show going. You don't need to watch anything. But bullshit, by the way. You did need to watch stuff. But
right. They couldn't help themselves.
If like the way for them to do it is they would have to they can't go back and like make pertinent fan favorite relationships not exist. Like you can't if they start to go erasing things between Barry and Iris.
Right.
Or erasing things between Barry and Joe, or Barry and Wally, or Wally and Joe, or like if
Wally and Joe are
not
just suddenly perfectly like they've got a perfect paternal relationship now. No, you got to earn it.
I'd actually be a little bit okay with that, just because I'm tired of seeing them. They've
so
kind of already gotten to that point, though. They've kind of already gotten to the point where they're okay with each other.
They're getting there.
You know what I mean?
They're getting there. I mean, we're trying to do 20-something years of trust and parenting that they're building up here. They're getting there though.
I mean, even like Barry and Wally seem to be pretty okay with each other at this point.
Right.
Before he went back in time, so I'm good with them. Now, if they like turn back the time, like I don't want to like come back and find out that Wally never happened. You know, like I don't want to deal with like having to find him all over again or something.
Right.
But if they don't do that and they actually just change it for the better, of course, there's gonna have to be something that's really terrible that happens. Because he changed the past. That's the way it works. That's the way they have always said it works. Something
there's
really
always been a cost.
Happen.
I mean, in the giant crossover earlier this year, it was they still said there's a cost, and Oliver basically tells him, "Well, yeah, but it can't possibly be worse than what we just did. So screw it, let's do it."
Mm-hmm. Oliver may have been right. I'm not sure they could come up with something that would have been worse than killing off the entire cast.
I mean, that scene hurt to watch. I mean, for the right reasons, though. But
it did.
No,
I saw Laurel in flames, and I was giddy. I don't know what to tell you, man.
She's come back a lot. She's come back a lot recently. No, like, to do that, though, you had to watch Felicity and Diggle go down in the same shot, and then you had to go back and watch Ollie go down. It wasn't worth it.
By the way, to be fair, and we'll get into this in Arrow, Laurel's been really good lately.
I have similar notes, like 2 of them on Arrow. Cassidy's really stepping it up recently.
She's doing good. So, anyway.
Finally got her in the right scenes, I think, to some extent.
Yeah, and they're giving her good stuff to do. Like,
yeah. We'll get to that here in a second, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm done with The Flash, man. I mean, as far as having something to say about this episode, I'm going to be on board next week, though, watching it again. I'm not saying I'm done. I'm not saying I'm not. This is still my favorite show of any of them.
They've got, and they advanced it, too. This wasn't, it's a flashback episode, so it could have theoretically been something that was a little bit irrelevant. But no, man, he's got tachyon enhancement now to play with. Like, he's going to be able to, he's going to really up his speed. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm telling you, Pied Piper's going to be instrumental in stopping Zoom. I feel it in my bones.
I really hope so.
Feel it in my bones.
I'm hoping Pied Piper comes back and figures out like a frequency he can help, Vibe get to his uber powerful levels. I just wanted to work on Vibe. I always have.
You know what I hope is not a factor, but I can't help. Like as soon as I realized what they were doing with him, I was like, oh, they're bringing him in. Oh. I was really happy for a second, and then I thought, oh, please don't let him just be a token gay character on the show.
No, they were going to do something a lot more clever with him.
I really hope so. I feel like maybe they were like, oh no, we don't have our gay character on the Flash.
Right.
Scramble. Who do we have? Pied Piper.
Find? Is Andy Mantis doing anything right now? No? Okay.
I really hope that's not a factor. But
I think they'll stay classy with it. Keep it.
Even if it is a factor, I'm sure they'll do it well enough that I won't notice.
Right.
Or most of us won't notice. I'll notice because I'm me. But
I'll tell you what.
I like that actor. I like the character.
Ooh.
Let's give it a shot.
Unless I'm reading this wrong, are we off Flash for a couple weeks?
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh no.
TV Maze is telling me that it's April 19th. April 19th is the next episode versus Zoom.
No.
Sorry. I keep killing your hope. I'm so sorry.
Why do you do this to me?
I didn't mean to.
You did too.
I didn't schedule the show. I'm hoping you find that TV Maze is wrong about this.
I'm going to Wikipedia.
That'll do it.
Oh, you're right.
Damn it.
They don't even have anything beyond episode 18 listed, though.
Here's what we have looking forward to. Versus Zoom is the title. Equipped with the tachyon device, Barry believes he is fast enough to stop Zoom and wants to open the breaches to catch him. Harry strongly advises against that plan. But, all right, and once we've gotten to but, we're already at Scott Madison's comment, right? But after Barry convinces him, Harry reveals that Cisco has the power to reopen the breach. Oh, thank God! Yeah. Meanwhile, Hunter Zolomon's painful story on Earth 2 is revealed. So, hey, you got a lot to look forward to, dude.
I know.
You're just
but we're off for 2 weeks.
Right this damn second.
We're off for 2 weeks, though, on that. That's such a bummer. It is, because I love The Flash. The Flash is my favorite show of any of this.
Trust me, I
shows
feel
we cover.
But you get to come back to all that.
Did we get a break from Arrow, though?
I don't
that might be the silver lining for me.
I was going to look that up when we got there.
Oh, I have liked Arrow more lately.
I have. It's been on a good run.
Yeah, well, April 6th is the next Arrow.
All right, so no Arrow break.
No Arrow break. Well, it was April 6th on Arrow, and then April 27th is the one after that.
Oh, okay.
So we will get a break. It's just kerfuffled.
They offset them a lot.
Anyway. No, I would rather them do it at the same time because it gets a little confusing for me, but whatever. Okay.
Too many dates to memorize.
Yeah.
That's why we haphazardly look this shit up at the end of our episodes. It's too many things to actually memorize.
It is.
And we don't have the organizational skills to get a good calendar going.
Yeah. So, Jay Greenwall on Twitter, or at Twitter, says, in Flash Season 1, Episode 7, Eobard, quote, learns how to steal the speed from the Flash via blackout. Possible Zoom connection?
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Be a nice callback. That's a good call. That's a good catch, man.
Yeah, I could dig that.
I had forgotten all about it, as I'm wont to do. We
try. We really try. There's a lot of episodes.
I'm still mourning the loss of Simon Stagg. For some reason, that really stuck with me from season 1 of The Flash. I was like, no, not Stagg. Where's my metamorpho? But
We'll never get the outsiders now.
why, Lord, why? Okay.
The only person in the history of Earth that's ever done that for Simon Stagg, right there.
Yeah, no. I was never that big of a fan. I don't know why I'm so worried about it, but whatever. Anyway, we are DC On Screen. You can find us at dconscreen.com. Every episode. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, Stitcher. We are a proud member of the Giant Size Team Up Network. You can also find our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall for a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the Marvel Cinematic Universe Podcast, mcucast.com. And we're going to be coming right back with Arrow 217. Or no, 417, sorry. All these numbers. I don't remember them. Beacon of Hope. 417. Damn.
Dave, I believe in you. You can do this.
It's getting long in the tooth up in here. Yeah. Anyway, until next time, guys, keep some DC on your screen.
When you download the Baker's app, you have easy access to savings every day. Get the most out of weekly sales and receive personalized coupons to save on your favorite items, all while earning 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Baker's makes it easy to save while you shop, whether it's in-store or online, so you get the most value out of every trip, every time. Download the Baker's app now to save big on your next purchase. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Must have a digital account to redeem offers. Restrictions may apply. See site for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.